And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. We've reported many times about how women in sex work are attacked, abused, and murdered. My next guests have moved on from that life thanks to Been There, Done That program. Joining me now here on The Factor Uncensored, Kathy Griffin-Grignon, along with Imani Lancelin, Heather Martinez, congratulations on the marriage, Heather, and Matilda Saragosa, who is back with us. So first of all, Matilda, let's start with you. How difficult is it to leave this life? Because Kathy, who's at the other end, has told me time and time again, you will try, but you'll be pulled back in, but you have to keep going in order to walk away.
Oh my God, it was so difficult at first, but when you make a conscious decision that this is what you want to do, and that decision is made with your heart and your mind, and you make that connection, it doesn't get no easier than that. It becomes an easy process. And then of course with having the mentorship of Catherine, I mean, it was just like a godsend. I wanted to leave so bad and I didn't know how. It was just dark and ugly, and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, and then God sent me Catherine.
There you go. And Heather, tell me, at your lowest point, what was life like, and what did it take you to pull you up and get the help you needed?
So at my lowest point, I was at a point where I didn't know how to love myself. I really just didn't want to be in life at all. And it took God for me picking me up out of the situation that I was in and placing me in prison, where I met Kathy, and moved to Houston to completely just turn my life around and be where I am today.
And of course, it wasn't the kind of hate yourself or was it, where you would harm yourself or think about killing yourself, but abuse yourself? Which type of hate yourself was it?
So I used to be a cutter, and I am a little over 4 years clean off of that.
So for those who don't know what a cutter is.
So I used to self-harm. I used to take sharp objects and make myself have open wounds. And that was just because I didn't want to feel the pain that I was feeling from everything that was happening around me. I really, right before I got locked up, wanted to be taken out of life. I just didn't know how to do it. And so God had other plans for me, obviously. And
there you go. And now you're married. Congratulations. Just
Thank
got
you.
Married.
Thank you.
And Imani, tell us your story, your backstory.
Well, I started at a young age, at 16, dancing. My grandmother raised me. My mother wasn't there, and I didn't know who my biological father was. So I went out into the streets searching for love in all of the wrong places. And I'm 28 now, and on my journey of destruction, it's just been a lot of heartache and pain.
At your lowest point, what was that like for you?
At my lowest point, I really didn't know who I was. I mean, my grandmother taught me the right and wrong way to live. You know, she taught me great worth ethic, but I don't know, I just wanted to feel loved, you know, so I chose the streets. But what I found out later, that the streets don't love nobody, you know, and for me, my friends were dying, overdosing over drugs, and now at 28, you know, later on down the line, I always knew who God was, you know, and I knew how to pray for strength. That's how I was able to stay strong in the midst of all of that. But, you know, I met Miss Kathy and other people along the way, you know, to know that there's life on the other side, you know, and so now I've made up my mind that that's not the way to be, because my friends didn't make it back to their kids, I'm sorry. They overdosed and they died, and they never made it to see the next day. So for me now, you know, I'm making a better decision today, and that's to get busy living and not dying.
And Catherine, that's an ongoing theme, looking for love and trying to find it on the streets, and the streets will never return that love back to you.
One thing that is a major factor, and a lot of the lives that come in front of me, when juveniles, teenagers, young adults, become sexually active, they tend to think that sex makes you an adult. And then they develop codependency issues, and a lot of people have abandonment issues. And they think that they're in relationships, but actually they're in relation S-H-I blank T-S. And there is a major difference. But through all of these years and all of these amazing young women, and the men and transgender and juveniles, boys, girls, women, men that have come through my programs, either in the free world or in the institutions, in the Texas Department of Correction. It is so enlightening to know that I don't care how low you go, as long as these individuals have just an ounce of a will, and with a little direction and some suggestions, that people are doing phenomenal things like these women here, along with others who are not here tonight.
All right. Thank you, Kathy, for the work you do. Let's all stand up and say happy birthday to it, too. Happy birthday, Kathy.
Happy birthday, Kathy!
Uncensored in just a moment. Happy birthday, lady.
Happy birthday!